Let's go. Tony Pollard or DeAndre Swift?
You started off.
Well, I'm trying to switch my stuff over, but okay. So Tony Pollard is going against Denver in Denver, and then you got DeAndre Swift, who's going up against Minnesota at home this week. So these are two guys that are just like, hopefully you didn't draft them as your running back one. Hopefully these are maybe your RB2, maybe a flex play, maybe a sub in. But hopefully these are not your running back ones. And if they are, probably went with the strategy I went this year on some of my drafts and just not drafting the running back position until way later. But you're looking at Denver on the road, who's a pretty good defensive team. Minnesota's got a pretty good defensive team, but not as much. The Chicago Bears offense is weird this year. Like, we don't know what that's going to be. Ben Johnson, we know, like to run David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. The Bears don't have that this year. They don't have a Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They might have a David Montgomery. In fact, they had a David Montgomery and then they traded him away. But they don't. They might have that kind of player. They don't have a Jahmyr Gibbs. And then you got Caleb Williams, who's coming into the sophomore season, who needs to prove that he is elite, like Jaden Daniels is. You got wide receiver weapons all over the place. You got two tight ends that can both play tight end one on their team. I think it's going to be a heavy passing game against Minnesota. They're going to have to, because JJ McCarthy's on the other side, wanting to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, get him involved early. I think it's going to be a lot of passing in the later half of the game, which is going to force Chicago to pass instead of run the ball, which I guess I'm picking Tony Pollard this week. Although, I don't know, because they're going to have to pass the ball a lot because they're going to be down from Denver, but Tony Pollard also can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I trust that a little bit more, being a pass catching back over Swift. And we don't even know that Swift is going to get the full workload as RB1. We know Tony Pollard will. So I think that's another part of the big thing there is that you know what you're getting out of Tony Pollard because there's no backup running back there.
Yeah, Tajay Spears is out, won't play for 4 games. Last year when Spears was sidelined, just to let everyone know, Spears dominated the handling. He had 82% of the non-quarterback rushing attempts. He had 24.2 touches per game when Tajay Spears missed the game. I'm going Tony Pollard here too. We're linking up, and guys, this is going to happen right now because I'm not saying that these are obvious plays, but what I'm saying is there's not much question marks because we haven't seen real football yet. We haven't seen these offenses. I haven't seen what Tennessee's going to look like with Cam Ward. I haven't seen what Ben Johnson's going to look like with Caleb Williams and DeAndre Swift. I'm okay with drafting. He wanted to kill Swift last year, I believe, real quick. And I was like, I'm okay with drafting Swift as your number 1 running back. I like Swift. I think Swift is very talented. He can get the job done in that offense. I think that Roshan Johnson and Kyle Monanagai are question marks to take his touches, but we've also seen DeAndre Swift have up and down seasons, up and down games. Tony Pollard, the same situation, but Tony Pollard at least is getting the opportunity. And what do we want? Listen, people are going bananas, BANNANAS, over this Washington guy, I don't even know his name, JCM, because of opportunity. That's it. There's nothing special about that guy. There's nothing special about him at all, but he has opportunity, so people are drafting him. The same can be said with Tony Pollard. He's not special. And I was joking because in this draft season, I did a lot of live drafts this weekend. My buddy, who's a diehard, like, he loves every backup running back. Oh, he should be it. He should be the starter. It was Tony Pollard should start over Zeke. Jaylen Warren should start over Najee. And now all these guys are being drafted so low. And I looked at him. I said, yeah, he goes, what do you think about Jaylen Warren this year? I said, you wanted him to be the starter until now he is a starter. Now you don't want him. Same thing with Tony Pollard. Everybody wanted him to be the starter until they saw him as a starter. Now you don't want him. It's just crazy, a crazy world we live in. So the next special backup running back that you're looking at, just be prepared when he becomes a starter to be underwhelmed as well. That's a huge tangent I just went off on to say Tony Pollard's my guy at Denver. I mean, on the road, it is tough. But take this into consideration. This is the Josh Kimmel bonus play. Players like to play under those lights, and that's a Monday night game against Minnesota, and we'll all be watching. I'm pretty sure the Manning cast might be on. I'm not sure. I didn't see the schedule. We fly home Monday, and I'm with Viking Dave, and Dave is adamant about we have to get home for this game. So, all that being said is I do like Monday night players. I think they shine bright in the lights, especially it's fun watching your team, but don't get, I guess, deceived by that. Ooh, I could watch my player win me a week one. Sometimes that's not always fun, but I always do it. That being said, Tony Pollard is still my move, even with the Monday night lights.
I want to make one more comment on Pollard and how you're like, he's underwhelming. He still finished as RB21 last year, which is an RB2, which is a starting running back in most fantasy formats. The last 3 seasons, he still has put up over 1,000 yards between Dallas and Tennessee. So it's not like he's just dead. Like, yeah, he's on the Titans. He's on a very bad offense. He had 260 rush attempts last year, which is the most in his career, behind Will Levis and Mason Rudolph and all the other quarterbacks that they rolled out there last year. So I would like to see how that changes with Cam Ward. That could change a lot with Cam Ward, but it's not dead.